Yo, check it out. What's the deal, y'all? This is Ray right here from the Woo. You watching Montreality. Peace. I love reading books, you know what I mean? I grew up on reading a lot, you know what I mean? Reading was important to me. You know, I didn't really have 100% proper education, you know what I mean? So when we started, you know, getting into 5% Nation, it was always about reading though. So reading was definitely something fundamental to me. Had to read though, you know what I mean? If you wasn't reading, you know, if you didn't read, you didn't know how to write. Definitely I would say read the 48 Laws of Power, you know what I mean? Read The Secret, the book called The Secret, you know what I mean? It's a couple of different books. Beholder the Pale Horse, that's a strong one as well though, you know what I mean? But them kind of books right there. And of course we know we love reading them, you know, them mob story books, you know what I mean? You know, all that shit, the John Gotti story, all that type of stuff. You know, I looked at them kind of books because it was like I wanted to really, you know, dwell on principles. You know what I mean? Talk about stuff that I know that we go through as real niggas in the street. You know, loyalty, betrayal, principles, you know what I mean? So that's why I was doing a lot of reading too, because I wanted some of that kind of history too. My favorite cartoon character, wow. I'm gonna go with probably Bugs Bunny, you know what I mean? Bugs is official, you know what I mean? Bugs is like a gasser, you know what I mean? Nobody couldn't really fuck with him, you know what I mean? And Daffy Duck was his nigga, even though he used to style on Daffy, but you know, you could tell him and Daffy, them niggas look like they was robbing banks back in the days though, but Bugs Bunny is my nigga, word up, Bugs. My favorite video game as a young nigga coming up, I would probably say, you know what I mean, Galaga. You know, we was big on Space Invaders and Galaga and, you know what I mean, shit like that though, so I would definitely say Galaga, because Galaga was like Space Invaders too, right? Yeah, it was almost the same shit, but you know, you can get two ships and shit, so you know they capture one of your joints, you know what I mean? You get your man back and then now y'all doubled up. So to me, I still play that to this day though, you know what I mean? I'm not really a super game freak, but I was playing that shit back in the day though, you know? Ooh. My last meal, I probably go out with like fish or something, you know what I mean? Get a nice big red snapper or something, no bones in it, you know what I mean? You know, rice and peas and shit. Some lemon type fish type shit, you know? Word. True definition of a G is a nigga that's just a real militant man, you know what I mean? You know, he does the right thing for his family. He's a leader, he's a great leader, you know, within himself and with the people that he run with, you know what I mean? And, you know, it's just all about, you know, not being out there, you know, being a fucked up nigga, you know what I mean? You out there being a stand-up nigga, niggas that niggas respect, whether they hood niggas or whether they, you know, niggas in the street that just don't do the hood shit, you know what I mean? If you saluted by all, you know what I mean? That mean to me, you a G. Yeah, you know, the album F.I.L.A International Luxurious Art, you know what I mean? That was a title that I really wanted to, you know, run with this album, because I feel like I'm at my best, you know what I mean? 20 years later, you know, I'm still able to grab that pen and do what I do normally, you know what I mean? So I wanted to name it F.I.L.A International because that's how I felt. This is a lifestyle album. This is me really invading every genre of music, you know what I mean? As far as in the hip hop world, you know what I mean? You got underground music, you got the mainstream music, you got the, you know, the solid lyricist cats, you got the, you know, the dudes that look at beats and all that. So I wanted to invade everything. I wanted to make sure that this album could hit everybody. So for an underground nigga, he gonna have his shit on there. For people that, you know, for women that I never really gave no love to like that on the album, I'm gonna have something for you. For the new generation, I'm gonna have something for you. It's all about just being a more responsible artist and just balancing everything out. You know what I mean? I could do hardcore shit all day, but that ain't really, you know, a business, you know, acceptable thing to me, you know what I mean? I gotta make sure I portion it. I'm gonna give y'all niggas a little bit of this, I'm gonna give y'all niggas a little bit of that. It's like the best way to describe it is from 1 to 6, I'm gonna give y'all that hardcore shit. And then from 6 to 12, I'm gonna be a businessman and capitalize on the industry. I'm trying to hit him in the head around like October, you know what I mean? September, October. You know, when you're dealing with certain little things, you know, sometimes you gotta be prepared for, you know, a pushback or whatever though. But I'm definitely trying to come before this year's out. You know, I feel comfortable. I feel I made another classic record, because you know that's what I'm good at. I'm good at doing albums and shit. But yeah, y'all gonna love this one. This one is exclusive. Yeah, I mean, you know, me and Hov, we've been in the business for a long time. You know what I mean? And you know, of course I knew him. You know what I mean? We met a couple of times though, but you know, definitely his peoples have reached out to me and said that he wanted to connect with me on the track. So, you know, my thing was, you know, it's about time. You know what I mean? We both never had an opportunity to really do that before. So I knew in my heart it was time to make that kind of move happen. You know what I mean? And, you know, we went up to the studio. He was up there waiting for me, and, you know, he embraced me. He gave me nothing but love. You know, we laughed, we talked. We talked about real shit. We talked about parenthood. We talked about life, you know, loyalty. You know what I mean? Betrayal. We talked about all that shit. You know what I mean? It wasn't just basically a hip hop story. It was a lifetime story of friends that came up in the business, and we still here today busting our gun. You know what I mean? Of course, you know, I'm gonna be on his next record. You know what I mean? Which is, you know, a big thing. You know what I mean, to hip hop and to myself. But Hov is a cool cat though, you know what I mean? I think we all be misunderstood in thinking that we all don't fuck with each other, but in all reality, it's a lot of love and respect there for both sides though, you know? Yo, let me tell you something. With that project right there, you know, this was something that we was working on, you know what I mean, for a long time, like almost like 2 years. You know, me and my guys and shit at Ice H2O Canada, because we realized that even though we have a base in Toronto, we didn't want people to just feel like it's a Toronto thing. You know what I mean? It's a Canada thing. It's, you know, Canada's so big, man. Canada got like almost 35 million people, you know, so we wanted to really represent Canada in a great way with their hip hop and combine it with American hip hop, you know, so we came up with the name Canamerica, you know, and all we did was just go out and get the best of the best in Canada and go get the best of the best in America and merge the project together. You know, this is something that never been done before. To me, this is a big up for America. This is a big up for Canada. You know what I mean? We all love hip hop. We right next to each other. You know, it was a brilliant idea that me and my team felt, you know, would really solidify real rap niggas from both countries. You know, so you would see a nigga up there from Canada that got a lot of credibility. You would see him up there with another artist from America that got a lot of credibility. You know what I mean? And based on it, I have these kind of relationships and people that really get behind me and love what I'm doing out here. They wanted to support it. In the same way, when I was out here in Canada, they was going to support what I'm doing back in the States, you know what I mean? So we just wanted to come with something that's really official. And when I tell you this project is serious, you know what I mean? We got cats from, you know, G's like Mad Child, you know what I mean? Classified, you know what I mean? I got Yellow Wolf and, you know what I mean? There's just so many cats on this project, you know what I mean? From French Montana to Busta Rhymes to, you gonna be bugging how you're gonna see some of your best from both sides get it in together and everybody sound official. You know what I mean? Because that's the last thing we're gonna do is just put something together that don't really feel good. But when I tell you everything worked according to our plan, it went smooth, you know what I mean? Because, you know, we good at knowing who sounds good next to each other and who makes sense, you know what I mean? Like, we got a record right now with Carta Official. That's my nigga right there too. That's one of Canada's kings right there, you know what I mean? That came up and represented with us. He got a record, you know what I mean, with Junior Reed, you know what I mean? Which is some wicked good boy shit, you know what I mean? And this is just really one track. Yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, man, you know, it was awards weekend, and you know, we was all in the club together, you know what I mean? And I already seen Big, and we definitely had words, and it wasn't even like no verbal words, no nothing crazy. It was just out of love, and me and Ghost thought about it like, yo, you know what, son is a good nigga. He from our side. It ain't personal, you know what I mean? So we felt it was our importance to go approach him when we seen him in the club and let him know, like, yo, it's all love. You know what I mean? I remember we sat down and, he offered us a drink or whatever at the table, and, we just was like, yo, man, we brothers, man. You know what I mean? We get money in this business, and we looked at as some of the best in this business, so nothing's personal, you know what I mean? And I felt good that I was able to come back and really close that chapter, because it wasn't really nothing, you know what I mean? To me, where I come from, beef is when you put it on a nigga, you know what I mean? Beef is when you coming at a nigga and it's nothing to talk about, you know what I mean? Our situation never got to that, you know what I mean, or whatever. Of course, we both had, he had a bunch of Brooklyn niggas that might have wanted to try to kill niggas, and we had a bunch of Shaolin niggas that would have tried to kill them or whatever, but it never got to that, and you know what I mean? I thank God for that, because that right there would have just been some corny shit, you know what I mean? But we definitely got an opportunity to come back and kick it to him and, close that chapter in a great way. And then next thing you know, 2 days later, my man is in the heavens, you know what I mean? So I'm like, wow, you know what I mean? It really bothered me, you know what I mean? And to keep it 100, it was like, when all that shit was going down out there in the West Coast, it's like everybody from the East got up out of there, you know what I mean? Because they must have really thought, like, dudes just going to start targeting whoever, but everybody left. We was like the only ones still out there, like, wow, like, you know what I mean? Like, damn, you know what I mean? So, you know how things twirl, you know what I mean? It is what it is, man, but I know I had an opportunity to really, you know what I mean, get my closure on the situation with him. Me and Ghost, we love the nigga. We a big fan of his work, though, you know what I mean? Like I said, all it was just McDonald's and Wendy's battling to see who got the best chicken sandwich, you know what I mean? At the same time of doing our hip-hop thing, That shit been going on for years in the game. The best of the best is always gonna, challenge each other in their own little way, but at the end of the day, it's friendly competition. Heard? A lot of people ain't know ODB was more like an entertainer for real. So a lot of things that he did, whether we looked at it like it was goofy or, or militant, that's just the type of person he is. Old Dirty will get you his heart. You know what I mean? A lot of times Old Dirty might have did things that we didn't really like, but when it came to me talking to him, it was like he tell me in a minute, like, yo, listen, I really don't listen to too many of the woo niggas, because I don't really feel like dudes is really like caring like that, you know what I mean? But I'm not here to say that niggas never cared about him, you know what I mean? I just know what he told me, you know what I mean? He was like, yo, Ray, I listen to you, you know what I mean? Because I'm quick, fast to keep it 100 with him. If you slipping, nigga, I'm gonna tell you slipping, you know what I mean? But like I said, his heart was solid, you know what I mean? He cared about his people. He took care of mad niggas, you know what I mean? And he definitely was a father to his family, you know what I mean? Like, he just was misunderstood to a degree, but for the most part, all real niggas love that nigga, because there's no father to his style. You know what I mean? Nobody's gonna tell him how to move or shake, you know what I mean? But he was very conscious of certain conversations when it came to me and him rapping. When me and him rap, and I tell him like, yo, B, this ain't cool. He'll listen to me, you know what I mean? So, and like I said, I would listen to him. If it was something that he needed me to know, he would pull me to the side like a real man and say, yo, chef, boom, get that tight, you know what I mean? Or whatever. So, all I could just say is, he was a real dude, man. He's a real G, man. I mean, when you're dealing with holograms, you know what I mean? It's like you kind of like revisiting the dead, and sometimes family may not really appreciate it like that, because it might bring back sad moments too, you know what I mean? But for the fans, if that's what they want, it's really up to his moms, you know what I mean, and his wife. I think them is the two people that everybody gotta respect at the end of the day, to say, okay, how they feel about it, you know what I mean? It's children, of course. My message to the youth, you know what I mean, is like I said, man, you know, grow up, take responsibility for the things that you do. You know, if you love hip hop, you know, you support real hip hop. You know what I mean? If you support this favorite rapper, then you support him. You know what I mean? And if you're an artist yourself, just keep working hard and get you a solid team of niggas, man. And stop bullshitting and stop being lazy. You know what I mean? The lazy ones, they come in last place all the time. You know what I mean? The ones who work the hardest is the ones that really could receive the rituals that they've been looking for. It's like I tell a nigga, like, yo, if you a good nigga and you a positive nigga, a positive fella, you know, when you think positive and you know that this is what you want to do, it's going to come to you because you're going to walk in the directions where you're going to see the success happen. You know what I mean? But if you're a fucked up nigga or you a half-stepping nigga, then you're going to get them kind of results at the end of the day. So my thing is stay true to yourself and handle your business the way you're supposed to, man. You know what I mean? And take care of your family if you got a family. You know what I mean? If you got a loved one that you don't really rock with, you know what I mean? Of course, we go through shit with our loved ones, but at the end of the day, sort that out. You know what I mean? Fix that. You know, go home, go see your moms or your pops or your grandmother, your aunt, that person that, you know, that really believe in you. You know what I mean? Like, listen to them, man. You know, a lot of young niggas and a lot of older niggas don't really listen a lot, but I think the more we start listening to shit, we'll understand how important it is to be successful at the end of the day, if that's what you want. All good. You know what it is, Canada. I love y'all. You know what I mean? I'm always going to be here to rep to the fullest. You know that.
My message to the youth is this. You should obtain the 12 jewels of life no matter what. And the 12 jewels of life are knowledge, wisdom, understanding, freedom, justice, equality, food, clothing, shelter. And after that, love, peace, and happiness. Peace.